and a very warm welcome. This is Primetime News coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Piruni Karunaratne for the Newsfirst team. Before we head on to your stories in detail, let's first take a look at tonight's top stories.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
Cyclone Fenjal moving towards the Puducherry coast. Effects of the cyclone in Sri Lanka reduce. Adverse weather claims 16 lives. 29,000 families relocated to safe shelters. Air quality in Sri Lanka deteriorates due to wind currents from India. 390,000 acres of fields flooded due to adverse weather. 1,000 million rupees allocated for compensation.
Newsfirst headlines. Main sponsor.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
On to your top story for this evening. The Department of Meteorology says that cyclonic storm Fenjal is likely to move west-northwestwards and cross North Tamil Nadu Puducherry coasts by tonight. Influence of this system on the island's weather is gradually reducing. Meanwhile, the National Building Research Organization reports a decline in air quality across several parts of Sri Lanka, attributed to wind currents from the Indian peninsula caused by cyclone Fenjal. The National Building Research Organization reports a decline in air quality across several parts of Sri Lanka, attributed to wind currents from the Indian peninsula caused by cyclone Fenjal. The air quality index, or AQI values, which should ideally be below 50, have exceeded 100 in many areas. Colombo recorded AQI values ranging from 108 to 116, while Jaffna reported values between 112 and 120. Residents in affected areas are advised to wear masks to mitigate health risks.
India පැත්තේ ඉඳලා මේ පැත්තට සුළං ධාරාවක් ගමන් කරනවා. මේ දවස්වල ඉන්දියාවේ බොහොමයක් නගරවල වායු දූෂණ මට්ටම වැඩි වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ නිසා ඒ සුළං ධාරාවත් සමග කුඩා අංශුමය ද්‍රව්‍ය ප්‍රමාණයක් ලංකාවට වායු දූෂක වශයෙන් පැමිණෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මුළු ලංකාව පුරාම වගේ ඊයේ දිනේ සිට අදත් සමහර විට හෙට දිනේ දක්වාත් පැවතිය හැකි. කිසි අයෙකුට හුස්ම ගැනීම අපහසුතාවයක් ඇති වෙනවා නම් වෛද්‍ය ප්‍රතිකාර වලට යන්නත් මුඛාවරණ පැළඳගත හැකි නම් පැළඳ ගන්නත්. නමුත් සාමාන්‍ය ජීවිතයේ එදිනදා වැඩ කටයුතු කරගෙන යන්න කිසිම බලපෑමක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ මේ තත්ත්වය.
අද දවසේදීත් අපි දිවයිනේ විශේෂයෙන්ම උතුරු පළාත ඒ වගේම
Over 75 millimeters of rainfall can be expected in the northern province as well as Trincomalee district throughout the day. The southwestern parts of the island may also experience rainy weather conditions. The western, Sabaragamua and southern provinces as well as the Kandy and Nuwara districts may experience rainfall from time to time. Wind speeds in the northern, north central, northwestern, central and southern provinces may be 50 to 55 kilometers per hour. I must warn the naval and fishing communities not to venture to the deep and shallow sea areas off the coast extending from Trincomalee to Putlam via Kankasanture until further notice.
සන්තුරේ හරහා ත්‍රිකුණාමලය දක්වා වෙරට ඔබ්බෙන්න වන ගැඹුරු සහ නොගැඹුරු මුහුදු ප්‍රදේශවල දීවර සහ නාවක කටයුතු වලින් වළකී සිටින ලෙස
The number of fatalities due to disasters linked to heavy rainfall has risen to 16. The Disaster Management Centre says that 19 have also been injured. 465,746 individuals are reported to have been affected by the adverse weather conditions experienced by the country. The DMC says that 29,596 individuals continue to be sheltered in 245 relief centres across the island. 98 houses are reported to be completely damaged, while 2,333 houses are partially damaged. Meanwhile, displaced residents of Vattavantenayur, Mawatachenai and Senayur in Trincomalee have been directed to relief centres. The Virgal area in Trincomalee continues to remain submerged. Navy boats have been deployed for transportation along the Muttuchenai road in Virgal, Trincomalee, due to the flooding in the region. Meanwhile, the Trincomalee main road continues to remain submerged in the Mawadi-Chennai area. Many areas, including Verugal, Sirimangalapura and the Somavathia Nature Reserve, are still submerged due to the overflow of the Mahaveli River. Meanwhile, the Seruvilla main road in Kantale has also been inundated in the Meegasgodalla area. Lowlands in Pulachena in Kalpitiya Puttalam still remain inundated. Fisherfolk refrained from going out to sea from the Ratkama Fisheries Harbour in Gaul following rainfall experienced in Gaul and surrounding areas. With the prevailing heavy rainfall, the Galthana main road in Kandy has reportedly been affected by landslides. According to Newsfirst correspondents, landslides have occurred at more than 16 locations along the road. Among the affected routes are the Galthana Ampitiya Road, Galthana Kandy Road, Galthana Monaragala Road, Galthana Silvathana Road and Galthana Alupota Road. Due to this situation, the Kandy District Executive Engineer's Office of the Road Development Authority has advised motorists to use alternative routes. A landslide in Division 255 in the Katukale area of Kandy resulted in the evacuation of 6 families from the area. The army intervened to rescue individuals who were trapped inside a house during the incident. Rockfalls and falls of mounds of earth onto the upcountry railway line has disrupted train operations. Following a landslide near the 16th mile post in Passara, a previously blocked lane on the road was reopened from 6 am to 6 pm today. The Colombo-Batikalo main road, which had been closed off for several days due to flooding at several points, has now returned to normalcy. The road was reopened yesterday for heavy vehicles only. Several previously closed roads have now been reopened for light vehicles as well. Although there is now a reduction in rainfall, 6 sluice gates of the Polgolla Mahaveli Dam continue to remain open.
The body of the student who went missing after a tractor overturned near the Samanture Karethivu Mavadipalli bridge was recovered this morning. His final rites were observed in Samanture today and it was attended by a large number of people.
The Madrasa administration took action on the 26th to send the students of Kashiful Ulum Arabic College home safely. The Madrasa management said that this step was taken with the aim of sending the students home due to flooding in some areas, including the hostel areas of the Madrasa due to the heavy rain. They had taken steps to send about 30 students home in a bus and they were accompanied by Madrasa officials. While the other students were sent home, the students who had to go to Samanture were put on a tractor because the road in Mavadipalli was flooded. There were 13 students in the tractor along with the driver and 2 helpers. Tragedy struck while these students were being transported home. The driver of the tractor lost control and the vehicle overturned near the Mavadipalli bridge. As the tractor overturned, 6 students who were travelling on it were immediately rescued. A few hours later, another student was rescued. While a search operation was launched to locate the bodies of the 6 missing students, by yesterday the bodies of 5 students were recovered and their final rites were performed. The body of the final missing student was recovered today. The driver of the tractor along with one of the helpers also lost their lives in this accident. The students who lost their lives in this tragic incident were 16-year-old Muhammad Tashrif, 15-year-old Farooq Muhammad Nasik, 15-year-old Muhammad Ashik Muhammad Afnan, 15-year-old Farooq Muhammad Saharan, 17-year-old Muhammad Jazil Muhammad Sadir, 12-year-old Aliyar Muhammad Yasin were the students that died in the accident. The body of Muhammad Tashrif, the 16-year-old Madrasa student whose body was recovered today, was buried in the Samandurai burial grounds at 11 am. The final rites for the student was conducted at the Samandurai Darussalam Mahavidyalayam grounds and was attended by a large number of people. His mortal remains were buried at the Samandurai Masjidul Mualla burial grounds. A madrasa student who survived this tragic accident shared details about his experience with us.
The tractor overturned and 10 people fell into the water. We were going to cross to the other side of the road. I could not bear it, so I jumped into the water. I was able to save only 2 people. I tried to save the other students. They called out my name and asked me to save them. The water flowed fast, but I found some courage and jumped into the water. It was difficult. I swam towards Kalmune and got onto the land by clinging onto a tree. Traveling in buses, we enjoyed each other's company. I was able to save these 2 students only because I knew how to swim. I learned how to swim by swimming in our lakes. That was how I saved these 2 people. I urge all of you to learn swimming. It is necessary to learn this skill as it might someday save your life.
அதனால நான் முன்வைக்கிறேன்னா தன்னை பாதுகாக்கிறதுக்குரிய கலைகளை பத்தி எல்லாரும் கற்றுக்கொள்ளணும்.
4 people were arrested in connection with the incident that occurred at the Sabandurai Karethiu Mavadipalli bridge. The madrasa principal, a teacher and 2 others were arrested and produced before the magistrate. The principal and the teacher have been remanded until the 2nd of December, while the other 2 suspects have been released on bail.
Technology across the world has developed significantly over the past few decades, and there are sophisticated equipment that can accurately predict the weather. However, here in Sri Lanka, there is a sense of suspicion among the general public over the capability of our Met Department to accurately predict the weather. But how justified are these suspicions? Can Sri Lanka's Department of Meteorology accurately predict the weather? The responsibility vested with the Department of Meteorology, which is the oldest institution under the Ministry of Defence, is not one that can be taken lightly. The department is vested with the responsibility of predicting and advising Sri Lankans on the weather and climate change for a sustainable future for all. The Department of Meteorology is responsible for providing weather and climate-related services to the general public that is of pivotal importance in the agriculture, energy, fishing, marine insurance and other sectors, and their duties include warning and advising about bad weather such as cyclones, heavy rains, lightning, high winds and tsunamis. A single weather advisory from the Met Department could be the difference between life and death for many Sri Lankans. Many countries in the world employ sophisticated modern equipment and techniques to accurately predict the weather. These countries have the capability of accurately predicting the weather anomalies and disasters such as hurricanes and storms in advance, which enables the authorities to identify areas that will be severely affected and evacuate residents in those areas in time. India has been preparing since 1.5 weeks for the Fenjal cyclonic storm that recently affected Sri Lanka. All meteorological departments work based on the Greenwich time, and every 3 hours they exchange information between departments. Sri Lanka usually uses information from India, but given the fact that India had been preparing for the Fenjal cyclonic storm for weeks, Sri Lankan authorities had not been showing similar enthusiasm in responding to this cyclonic storm. 15 lives were lost due to the Fenjal cyclonic storm. This is not an isolated incident. We will never forget the carnage that the tsunami caused in Sri Lanka in 2004. 35,000 lives were lost. 5,000 people were missing. Even after this disaster, we did not focus on establishing a tsunami early warning system. During a recent inquiry done close to the tsunami memorial, it was revealed that 57 of the 77 tsunami warning towers were malfunctional. However, 90 million rupees had been paid for maintenance of these towers from 2016 to 2023, and 576,185 rupees had been paid for this year. The installation of the 2 Doppler radar systems that were gifted to Sri Lanka from Japan should have been completed by the year 2021. What has happened now? In the recent past, there were even issues as to if the amount of rainfall calculated by the Department of Meteorology was accurate. The National Audit Office had revealed that by the 31st of May last year, 72 of the 453 rain gauges across the country are malfunctional. It also revealed that 52 of the 122 automatic rain gauges are malfunctional. The reason for this is the lack of proper maintenance. Although the Department of Meteorology was aware of the Fenjal cyclonic storm that was to hit Sri Lanka since the 21st of November, there is a doubt as to if the information available to the department was adequately disseminated among the general public. At a time when the general public can access information regarding the weather from a simple app on their phone, was this information disseminated accurately and as soon as possible? If the Department of Meteorology, which was launched under the Survey Department in 1867, is still continuing to operate with the technology available at that time, what are the most advanced methods of obtaining weather-related information in the world? Do we employ these methods?
We call this numerical weather forecast. Based on the situation indicated on the computer today, we can forecast the weather for the next 3 to 4 days. Our meteorological department does not have this technology. They collect the data that comes from India and Europe, and then they use that data to forecast.
Can such forecasts be made through the Doppler radar system, in which the Sri Lankan government has already invested a large sum of money?
The Doppler radar shows where it is raining right now. That is not a forecast. The data from the radar can be used to forecast for about an hour ahead. It can tell you where it will rain during the next hour. It cannot forecast for several days. A single model is not used when it comes to forecasting weather. They take data from India, Europe, America, and they use their experience to forecast the weather.
This shows that forecasting the weather is no longer a prediction, but the provision of accurate date. Predictions may be right or wrong, but with the advancement in technology across the world, weather forecasts are becoming more and more accurate. Meteorological departments around the world have been successful in providing accurate information on the change in the weather, and in the process save thousands of valuable lives and property.
About 375,000 acres of cultivated land were flooded due to the adverse weather, according to the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board. Chairman of the board, Premasri Jasingha Arachi, said that the damage caused to the crops will be assessed after the flood waters recede. A large amount of crops has been destroyed in the Ampara, Monaragala, Batiklu, Trincomalee, Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa districts due to the floods caused by the adverse weather that affected the country. The largest amount of cultivated land has been flooded in the Ampara and Batiklu districts. 250,000 acres of paddy fields in the Ampara district had been destroyed. According to the district secretary, about 75% of paddy fields in the district were flooded. Many agrarian organizations in the area convened media briefings and spoke about the damage caused to their crops.
If we consider the paddy cultivation alone, in the Ampara district alone, 75,275 acres of paddy fields have been completely destroyed. 33,275 acres of paddy fields were inundated as of yesterday. 5,578 acres of cornfields in the Ampara district are also flooded. We know that the paddy had been cultivated for about 2 weeks to a month. The cost that we had to incur for this includes the cost of paddy seeds. We spend about 5,300 rupees for a bushel of paddy seeds. We have spent about 8,000 rupees for fertilizer. We have incurred a cost of about 5,000 rupees for pesticides. In addition to our labor, farmers have already contributed a sum of 45,000 and 50,000 rupees already.
In the Rambakhannoy settlement located along the border of the Batiklu district in the eastern province and the Badula district in the Uva province has over 50,000 acres of cultivated land.
Even in the previous season, farmers faced a similar disaster. But this disaster is worse. The officials came during the previous season as well to assess the damage, but the farmers only received a small sum of money. 5,843 acres of paddy fields from the Maha Oya Farmers Association has been destroyed. This has affected 477 families of farmers. 1,420 acres of cornfields have also been destroyed, and this has affected 720 families. This is the second time that these farmers are facing floods during this year. The government and the ministry must formulate a long-term plan to respond to manage this situation. The streams and canals must be fixed and steps need to be taken to protect the fields of these farmers.
Many paddy fields in other parts of the country have also been severely affected by the floods. The Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board said that assessing the crop damages will begin the day after tomorrow. Chairman of the board, Sirasa said that the assessment will begin from the Polonnaruwa district. The Commissioner General of Agrarian Development, Rohana Rajapaksa, said that a special program has been launched to recultivate the paddy fields that were destroyed in the floods. He said that officials from his office have been assigned to this task. The Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Land and Irrigation, D.P. Vikramasinghe, said that the government will intervene to provide paddy seeds for farmers to cultivate their land again this season. He added that as the state does not have paddy seeds at the moment, the district secretaries have been informed to procure the required paddy seeds. The government expects to purchase these paddy seeds with the support of agrarian organizations and farmers to provide it to the farmers. Will compensation be provided for the damage suffered by farmers? Chairman of the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board, Sirasa said that accordingly, 40,000 rupees will be paid per acre of land on which paddy, corn, potato, soybeans, big onions and chili were cultivated. He added that the government has already allocated 1 billion rupees for the payment of compensation to farmers. The Indian Department of Meteorology reports that cyclone Fenjal made landfall near Puducherry. The coastal districts of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and parts of Andhra Pradesh were witnessing heavy rainfall and strong winds.
Flight operations at Chennai Airport will remain suspended till 4 a.m. on Sunday as heavy showers are forecast in the wake of cyclone Fenjal. Chennai and neighbouring districts have been experiencing strong winds and heavy showers as the cyclone moved towards Tamil Nadu. Police put barricades in Tarangambadi Beach, Tamil Nadu, to restrict people's entry amid cyclone warning. Foreign media quoted experts saying that the cyclone may cross land only in midnight and that people are advised not to go out.
On to more local news now. Social activist Shehan Malika Gamage claims that certain officials have threatened to assassinate him over his comments regarding the Easter Sunday attacks. Now, he made these remarks during the launch of a magazine compiled on the subject of the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks.
Launch of the magazine Dark Easter, authored by social activist Shehan Malika Gamage, was held yesterday. The event, which was held at the Centre for Society and Religion in Maradana, was attended by former Speaker Karu Jayasuriya, former President of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, President's Council Salia Pires, Executive Director of the Centre for Society and Religion, Reverend Rohan Silva, former Senior DIG of State Intelligence and Counter-Terrorism Division, Mahil Dole, and several other notable figures. Days after my remarks, the CID summoned. They had gone to my village announcing on a loudspeaker as if I were a criminal. I was held for 8 days on the 6th floor of the Criminal Investigation Department. On the second day, they told me that they could kill me by injecting a poison into my body. I used to open doors with a handkerchief in my hand and with another handkerchief in my pocket. I'd use my foot to open doors. When they'd keep a chair for me to sit on, I'd ask for a different one. Whenever I was given a glass of water to drink, I'd tell them to get me a different one. or I drink from the glass that an official had already used. In the midst of all those risks, I gave them all my statements so that they could not square me. They kept calling me, saying everything I said was false and urging me to retract my statements. But I firmly told them I would not withdraw even a single point. My threat report states that there were 13 attempts to assassinate me. We began this fight with the aim of seeing the end of this whole matter. Now everyone has united for this common goal. One day, justice will prevail. We've overcome many hurdles to come this far. This is a battle of non-violence, and we will win it with love.
කවදා හරි යුක්තිය ජයග්‍රහණය කරන අපි ඒක ගොඩාක් කඩින් පහු කරගෙන ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. මේක අවිහිංසාවේ සටන. අපි මේක ප්‍රේමයෙන්ම ජය ගන්නවා.
It is said that there is a solution to every problem. However, the wild elephant problem in Sri Lanka continues to persist, as officials have not yet been able to provide any solution to it. Today, two very unfortunate incidents in Anuradhapura claimed the lives of a lieutenant commander attached to the Poonava Naval Base in Madhavachya and a 69-year-old woman in Galembindunubaba. Last night, a Navy officer was fatally attacked by a wild elephant near the Poonava Naval Base in Madhavachya. He was attacked when he was on his way back to the Navy base after having dinner. Police say that he succumbed to his injuries after being admitted to the Boneyard General Hospital. The victim was a father of two and a resident of Mapalana, Nittambua. In a separate incident, a 69-year-old woman succumbed to injuries following a wild elephant attack in Mahasengama, Galembindunubaba. Police say that the woman who sustained severe injuries in the attack succumbed to them after being admitted to the Anuradhapura hospital.
දැන් වසර ගානක ඉඳන්ම අලි තර්ජනේ තියෙනවා අපේ ගම්මානේට. මේ ළමයෙක් ඉස්කෝලේ ගෙනියන්න බෑ. වැඩිහිටියෙකුට බෙහෙත් ගන්නට යන්න විදියක් නැහැ. කෙනෙක් දෙන්නේ තුන් දෙනෙක් නෙවෙයිනේ මැරුවේ.
News First with the people.
Newsfirst. Main sponsor.
Generators for long-term rent. Multiways Engineering Private Limited.
A trusted place for your fixed deposit. Valuable FD, a symbol of stability.
Welcome back to Primetime News. Fuel prices have been revised with effect from midnight today. Accordingly, the price of octane 92 petrol has been reduced by 2 rupees per litre, with the new price being 309 rupees. The price of auto diesel has been increased by 3 rupees per litre, and the new price of auto diesel is now 286 rupees per litre. The price of kerosene has been increased by 5 rupees per litre, with the new price being 188 rupees. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation announced that the prices of octane 95 petrol and super diesel will remain unchanged. Coming up next is Corporate Brief. The students of eSoft Metro Campus visited the Mount Lavinia beach yesterday to raise awareness about protecting our beaches and the environment.
The primary aim of this project is to make sure that our students get the exposure about protecting the environment. This is a project that will create an influence in the society, making the people realize the importance of protecting our beaches. We are getting so much unpredictable weather nowadays. So we believe that it's extremely crucial that our beaches are protected.
The goal of this project is to raise awareness about protecting our beaches and environment, especially given the increasing unpredictability of weather patterns. The Colombo International Maritime and Logistics Conference 2024 is set to reshape the future of maritime trade and logistics. Global leaders and industry experts will gather to explore groundbreaking technologies, sustainable practices, and the impact of shifting global trade dynamics. The conference convened a diverse group of international stakeholders, including port operators, shipping and logistics companies, service providers, and technology partners. This gathering provided a unique opportunity to understand both global trends and regional nuances. fashion exhibition and catwalk show of Mod Art International, inspired by French designers, took place yesterday in Colombo. The event celebrated both fashion and culture, showcasing the creativity and elegance of renowned French design. It also provided students from Mod Art International with a valuable opportunity to build global connections in the world of fashion. The Harold Pierce Gallery at the Lionel Wendt Theatre is currently hosting Varnakari, a captivating solo art exhibition by renowned artist Varsha Pereira. Open to the public today and tomorrow, the exhibition features 45 of Varsha Pereira's eclectic paintings since 2022, drawing attention with their rich use of vibrant colors and intricate mandala art.
Varnakari is an exhibition, a collection of eclectic paintings where I use very vibrant colors and mandalas as a metaphor for layered human connection. Apart from having 45 paintings which is displayed, we have 3 collaborations with batik, with pottery and the traditional Sri Lankan Vesmuhunu as well. And some of the other highlights are a few songs, one song of Bhati and Santosh and another song which is Ikigasa Handana. So they are also visualized into paintings.
The theme of the exhibition, Layered Human Connections, seeks to explore the complex nature of human relationships. Through bold color choices and symbolic use of mandala patterns, Pereira creates a visual metaphor for these layered human connections. In addition to Pereira's signature paintings, the exhibition also features 3 collaborative artworks showcasing the traditional crafts of batik, pottery and traditional Sri Lankan masks. Another highlight of the exhibition is how several songs such as Mal Panpodak and Ikigasa Handana by veteran Sri Lankan musicians are brought to life through Varsha's paintings. Varsha Pereira is an emerging Sri Lankan artist with international recognition who began her artistic journey in 2022. The Varnakari exhibition displays an array of vibrant paintings in Varsha's distinctive style. Jayantha Silva inaugurated his 17th solo art exhibition, Expression 17, an exhibition in figurative art in Colombo yesterday. Jayantha Silva inaugurated his 17th solo art exhibition, Expression 17, an exhibition in figurative art in Colombo yesterday.
This is my 17th solo exhibition, which I started in 2003. Today is actually, I'm having an exhibition after about 5 years. I started my exhibition, first solo exhibition in 2003, which was also at Lionel Wendt. This was actually, I started as a hobby, but today it has become my profession and my livelihood.
The exhibition will be held from the 29th of November until the 1st of December at the Lionel Wendt Art Gallery in Colombo. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has suggested that the parts of Ukraine under his control should be taken under the NATO umbrella to try and stop the face of the war that he refers to as the hot face.
In an interview with foreign media, the Ukrainian president was asked whether he would accept NATO membership, but only on the territory that Kiev currently holds. Zelensky said he would, but only if NATO membership was offered to the whole of Ukraine within its internationally recognized borders first. He said Ukraine could then attempt to negotiate the return of the territory currently under Russian control in a diplomatic way. But the suggestion is highly theoretical. As Zelensky pointed out, no one has yet made such an offer. Whether NATO would ever consider such a move is highly doubtful. Zelensky said Ukraine has never considered such a proposal because no one has officially offered it to us. He said NATO would need to offer membership to the whole country, including those parts currently under Russian control. The president said you can't give an invitation to just one part of a country.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight. Thank you for watching. Take care. Good night.